Testing 1, 2, 3. Speaking of ASMR, testing 1, 2, 3, guys. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Vencabot. This is The Last of Us Part 2. It's a little bit loud right now, I apologize. It's just a water. It's supposed to be loud. Last time we escaped from this building here, that was a treat. And now we're moving on to where we're supposed to go. Let's see where we're supposed to go.
There's the hospital.
There's the hospital.
Much farther.
So I can't jump across here. I have to go back. I mentioned in my tweet that last time we had some pretty non-linear gameplay. That was fun. I kind of enjoy exploring the city there and going to all different buildings and, you know, getting some lore and stuff. Kind of wouldn't mind if that continued. So, I mean, this is quite a cliche. And, I mean, I'm not going to say that I have a better idea for limiting player progress, you know, in terms of, like, invisible walls and shit. You know, every game needs to limit your movement somehow to create a stage from a semi-realistic environment, right? And, of course, when me and Jiffy were kids, there was a lot of invisible walls. But this game really, really uses the fuck out of these, like, office, you know, like, drawers, shit like that, kind of like laying on staircases. It's a thing. I mean, they have not a lot of options, right? The other option is to have the stairs be, like, you know, destroyed or whatever. I mean, how is he gonna block them off? Whee. This game adds a run jump, but she has a Drake-style jump. Her jump auto-corrects to where it's supposed to go, so that it feels kind of shallow that way. I think that window right there. Is there more than one window I can go into? It looks like it might be, huh? Not really. There's just a little object here to collect, looks like. It's kind of a drag. So my feelings of this game have been pretty mixed, guys. I mean, I don't really like the overall pace of the game. That's, you know, to be expected. It's sort of like, you know, Naughty Dog. Lots of walkie-talkie. Lots of, you know, sitting back and following along, you know, by the nose where I'm supposed to go while somebody yaps at me. There's a destroyed stairs. That's a drag. But kind of like Uncharted by the end, I kind of like the gameplay. Like, when it actually is playing this game more than Last of Us Part 1, I feel like it's got some pretty cool ideas. And I wouldn't mind seeing more of those ideas, to be honest. So this place seems like a good spot to get jumped by zombies.
At the end of the street.
Last time they introduced a new kind of zombie, which was the Stalker. They were in the last game as well. The Stalkers are unique because they cannot be seen by your stinko-vision. But they're not that threatening. They're not that dangerous, honestly. They just run at you. They're kind of like runners, but even less dangerous because they don't seem to, like, really alert their friends when they see you. And they retreat. They retreat as much as they attack. So they're really not a huge issue, honestly, compared to other zombie types. That being said, you know, they are still dangerous. They're a danger. And they sort of, I guess I kind of encourage, like, a slower playstyle, which is kind of a drag because I already play so slow as it is. I'm so scared. Like, basically, if I knew where they were, I could just strategize around that. So I see some zombie up there. Looks like a clicker or a runner. So I've mentioned this on previous streams. I find it very interesting, so I mentioned it again. That zombies can't see your flashlight. That's an interesting gameplay contrivance. I mean, that really is sort of giving up in terms of the realism. And I respect that. There's more zombies over there. I got an upgrade that lets me see further with my stinko vision. That being said, I find it funny that they sort of were like, yeah, let's not bother trying to make it realistic anymore. Let's just tell the player outright that the zombies can't see your flashlight at all. I think that, you know, it's a solution insofar as, what are these little fucking spores? I don't like the look of those things. It's a solution insofar as you want to have the player be able to use the flashlight. It makes the environment more creepy, right? Like, it's way creepier with the flashlight than if it were actually like a lit up area. But then how do you balance the stealth with the flashlight? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe you don't. Just I tell the player, hey, listen, it doesn't really matter. What's up, Drew? Welcome aboard, dog. I like your fucking little big mouth dude, Drew. Little big mouth emoji. It reminds me of the All That logo. This is all that. Sit still, because we're coming right back. You're a pretty young guy, though. You might not know about All That. They brought it back for a revival, I think, right? Not sure if that was a success or not. Dapper knows. Repairman, man. Dude, there's a fucking guy in Fight Cage whose handle is Repairman, man, Dapper. Is that sick or what? Oh. This is all that. I kind of like the idea of these stalkers from a game design perspective, because they add an element of like a jump scare to a game where you otherwise have stinko-vision. Oh, there's stalkers around. And now they know I'm here. So this might be a little bit trickier, because I think there's a clicker up there as well. So we have stalkers who we can't see by way of stinko-vision. And we have some again, the stalkers themselves are not dangerous, but they might alert the other zombies is the dangerous part. There's zoom, Jiffy. The stalkers are more mobile than other kinds of zombies as well. When the stalkers attack, they scream. There's one right there. I wish I could zoom in further. I also wish they didn't know when you were aiming at them. They have this feature where they peep their heads out from behind cover. That's fun. It's very creepy, very unsettling. But I would like it more from a gameplay perspective. They could be surrounding me is another thing. They're a little more mobile than other kinds of zombies. They can go through those little cracks in the wall. And they can go through windows too, like that. And they're very, very quiet. This stinko-vision, I always call it stinko-vision. I think it's more fun to call it that. But it's supposed to be her super hearing. When I do this little, I hold R1 down, I can see through walls. That's her super hearing. So enemies don't make any sound, I can't see them. Theoretically. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of enemies that are silent that I can still see with stinko-vision. But these guys, for the purposes of gameplay, just important to know these stalkers cannot be seen most of the time with the stinko-vision. And they try to surround you, I think, in which case they might already be over there. It's pretty unsettling. Again, it's kind of weird because these guys are not that dangerous.
Got you.
The hell? Did they die in one hit? When they're hiding or what? That was definitely not a headshot, right? So that's one. I think I saw two, right? There's at least two stalkers. This gun I'm using as silence has 2 more silence shots on it. I can make my own silencers in this game. So yeah, there's a spot over there. I saw a stalker moving. He wants to kill me. When he makes that sound, it means he wants to kill me, I think. Over there, it looks like. But he's on the move. I'm so scared. There's at least 3 ways they can get in and reach me. As long as I can see it coming, it's not dangerous. The stalkers are not that bad in hand-to-hand combat. Again, they're not as scary. Oh, there's so many. This is bad. Oh, it's a clicker. Yeah, so this is where they're going to get a little bit more difficult, right? I mentioned in the last stream that the stalkers are not that dangerous on their own. But when they have clickers around, when they can alert other zombies, that's when they become a real threat. I'm scared, Donald. The biggest complaint I saw gameplay-wise was that the infected encounters felt tacked on. How do you feel, Lenka? Tacked on? I wouldn't say so far. Not at all. No, it seems quite organic to me. I can't, that's a criticism I can't see at all. Bookboard Nero? Yeah, this game's fucking scary right now, Donald. So basically, I need to be considerate. I can't retreat as far as I would like. So the clicker is kind of a problem. But I can also, I've got plenty of shotgun ammo for the clicker. So that kind of means I shouldn't use it against the other zombies. Yeah, this is going to be kind of tricky. I don't really understand how to deal with these stalkers yet. I'm kind of enjoying about this right now, Nero, is that, and again, you guys know that if I could possibly not compliment Naughty Dog, I would. right? Because I'm very critical of Naughty Dog's game design in general. But I gotta say that there are aspects of this game, a lot in fact, that are very, ironically, game design focused. Again, for a studio that's notorious for putting, narrative and cutscene over gameplay, what is kind of interesting about Naughty Dog, as I noticed in my series long play, can I go through here? Oh, I can. I noticed in my series long play of Uncharted that they do more than other studios I've seen. They really have been focusing, like they have ideas for gameplay and they exercise the ideas. They have this idea and they execute it very effectively. Not sure it knows where it got attacked from. My silencer is about to break. I wish I had like a Metal Gear style, like cling to wall and peek around the corner. Oh, this is bad. So the clicker kind of was chasing me. The clicker was made aware of where I was, I think, by the stalker. Yeah, so I noticed kind of by the end of my series long play of Uncharted that despite my complaints of them being very boring in terms of how the story was told, overall, they did a really good job of,
Down you go.
Okay, so I killed that one, apparently. Now I'm out of silence. I didn't make another silencer if I can. What's the cost? Cost me a rag, apparently. Looks like I got another one. I saw a little bit of movement there in the distance and just kind of tagged them. It seems like the stalkers are very soft to bullets. I don't know if that's a reasonable deduction from what little I've seen so far of today's gameplay, but I swear I'm knocking these guys down without actually having to, like, aim. I'm not actually, like, getting headshots. I'm just kind of knocking them out. It's almost like they die in very few bullets, even to the body, compared to other zombies out there, which seems like they take a lot more hits. Something is glowing over there. But I thought I saw something moving. I don't think I did, though. Just a trick of the light, dude. So there was how many... In the last time I died, there was what? Like, at least 3 stalkers? There's a clicker right there. It'd be great if I could get a stealth kill on it. Now let's retreat. How you doing, Jimmy Jones? As I was just saying... Ooh. That, I really enjoy how this is kind of arcadey in the sense that they are mixing and matching different kinds of zombies with different, strategies, the way that they kind of behave. And they're asking me in a very organic way to knock them out. There's a stalker around here somewhere. I heard him, but I don't see him. That means he's a stalker. Oh, there he is right there.
There.
Yeah, this is fucking dope. I mean, I have no complaint. In fact, I think this is quite genius. I wish more games would, go back to the roots of game design and kind of, develop these systems together in tandem. The clickers, they have good hearing. The stalkers, they are silent. The runners, they're sort of like the fodder enemies. And then you stack them in an environment like this, where you're encouraging me to, use stealth kills, use melee, use guns. I mean, that's dope. You can't take nothing away from that, dude. You hear the rain outside? Isn't it lovely? So I killed 2 stalkers and 1 clicker by now. The clickers are the real problems, and the clickers are loud. I think there's no more clickers left, right? I killed the clicker, which means that from now on, theoretically, I'm in much less danger. I could even probably stand to not use any more of my silencer. Theoretically. Because these melee-type enemies, they're not that dangerous, especially these... I mean, for being so quiet as they are, the stalkers, they are also... before they attack, they scream. They give you a little... they telegraph their attacks. They're only silent when they're, like, stalking you. And I mean, for a stealth game, this is kind of an ingenious... Oh, there's one right there. Oh, no! Can I retreat any further? I cannot. This is not great. But again, it seems like no one's chasing me except for stalkers. The stalkers are very hard to melee unless you let them come to you, which is not always a great idea because they attack in groups when they can. So I think I might use more of my revolver ammo here. It's pretty precious. Yeah, I kind of cut myself off there. What I was saying was that this game strikes an excellent balance between stealth and horror. Like, I feel like not a lot of stealth games really that I love, and I love this genre so much. I love the stealth genre. They don't always strive to be horrifying. That's really not their ambition, which is fair. Sometimes there's a lot of tension. But it's kind of cool how, you know, the one-hit kills from the clickers and the fact that the stalkers literally are stalking me and I can't see them until it's oftentimes too late. It strikes a really fun balance that makes it kind of like a horror stealth game. Yeah, so I've got quite a few shots in the revolver. The revolver is very loud. Normally I wouldn't use a loud weapon. This is a special case. Because there's no enemies around except for these stalkers who are themselves, again, they're not that dangerous in a one-on-one fight. So if they know where I am, it's not a big deal. In fact, they probably do know where I am. They're actually circling me invisibly as we speak. And again, I don't see no other enemies here, like clickers, or if I use my Stinko vision here, I can see where there's clickers and shit. I don't really understand how the stalkers always know where I am. Is it because they can see my light, or are maybe they have really good hearing like a clicker does? It does seem as though the stalkers are very good at knowing where you are. You almost never sneak up on them. They usually see you first. And it's kind of fun, you know, it's also kind of like creepy, their animation, when they kind of peek out from behind ledges, peek out behind corners and shit. I hear somebody gibbering. That's the sound of a stalker when they're sort of moving, either because they are chasing you or they're just moving around in general. I need these bottles now because I used a bottle to make a silencer. So I'm not really sure. I'm just got my first encounter with the clickers on our last, excuse me, with the stalkers in the last stream. I don't really know all their mechanics and how they work. I'm not sure. Again, it seems as though they pretty much always seem to announce themselves before they attack you. I heard him over there somewhere. I think sometimes they make that sound just to throw you off. Look, DJ Godzone. Sometimes you'll hear a sound from a stalker, and you won't be able to, and you'll look where the sound came from, and there's nothing there. Almost like they intentionally make a sound and then run to kind of surround you. I'm not sure how many more of them are left. Oh, there's one up there. Yeah, when they're not aware of you, sometimes you can see them with your Stinko vision. They're like making sounds. Here's one. Again, they're not that scary one-on-one. Got behind it. That was sick.
Okay.
I think they're all dead now. That's why she said okay. Whew.
Okay.
Jeez.
Time to go.
That was so much fun. Again, for all my criticism of this, you know, franchise and its developer being so story-focused, when the gameplay is there, the gameplay is fucking there, man. I mean, I can't take nothing away from that. That was, you know, some of the best stealth I've ever played. And I played a lot of stealth. It's kind of a drag. I love the sound of the rain outside, but it's sort of like kind of disguising the ambience of the game. and make it kind of hard for me to like concentrate. The game did do some things well, including giving the Stalkers more shine. Yeah, again, it's really essential game design. I kind of like how they mixed them here with the clicker. Clicker's a one-hit kill enemy. Stalkers, can alert the clickers where you're at. You have to kill the Stalkers, but by doing so, you alert the clicker. So to kind of, be tactical. Yeah, that was sick. I think what I like even more than these parts, I mean, these parts are starting to grow on me now, the zombie stealth. Now we have a little more variety. But the actual, to me, this game really shines. Its best feature is the anti-human stealth. The human v human stealth. To me, that is where the game really is at its best. I think it's some of the best in class. Do you work a regular job, Mika? If so, what field? I do not, DJ Godzone. I pretty much just work on the stream all the time. This is a full-time thing for me. When I'm not on the camera, I'm working on the stream behind the scenes. As you can imagine, it's quite time-consuming. That's why I appreciate Patreon so much. My whole life is pretty much dedicated to the stream. It's all my time goes toward the stream one way or another. And the fact that people make it possible for me to still eat and get gas in my car, if not for that, I couldn't possibly do this. In fact, as it stands right now, the channel is not making enough income to be a long-term thing. I've been sort of trying to make it work over the years with the small income that I get to the channel, and I've barely been able to kind of squeak by. But hopefully, as the channel's popularity grows and people discover it here, we see more people helping out on Patreon, and we will see me being able to kind of raise my standard of living a little bit. Yeah, I live the dream, dude. I live the dream. I mean, again, I'm really, 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 really broke. I'm really, really broke. And I work all the time. I have no time for no kind of social life or anything outside of the stream. New videos every day on YouTube, guys. Check out our social media. Check out Discord. Check out our weekly events every Friday. Check out our, 2,000 episodes already on YouTube from previous streams we've done. It consumes all my time. But, I mean, it's a very fun way to spend your time, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. It gets repetitive by the end of the first half of the game, personally. So, Shiva Jones, we've kind of talked about this before. I'm glad you say that. And I'm not saying I want to hear it less. In fact, I want to hear it more. I'd love to hear your opinion. I hope as I get further into the game, I'll be able to hear more and more without spoilers and stuff. But you've mentioned before that, I'm still very early in the game. And that, this game is... A lot of people, not just you, Shiva Jones, I've heard a lot of people say this game is it wears out its welcome. It's way too long. Way too long. So for you to say that, it kind of corroborates what I've heard elsewhere. I'm kind of curious to see if I feel the same way as the game goes on. To me, I'm having fun right now, but you're right. If I'm still in, the start of the game and nothing gets, better as it goes, I can see that getting pretty boring. Thank you for the sub, DJ Godzone. I'll live vicariously through you. I'm stuck in IT hell every day. I'll keep pushing on. Thank you, dude. I will keep pushing on, at least as long as I possibly can. In IT hell. I've got friends that have worked IT. It sounds like a fucking nightmare. It sounds like a fucking nightmare. I mean, look at it this way, dude. I think everybody in this chat right now can sympathize with the idea that fixing computer problems is a fucking pain in the ass a lot of the time. But at the same time, can you imagine doing that on top of having to work with somebody who's, not as experienced or otherwise has a misunderstanding of, not only the nature of what's going on, but maybe even more importantly, the logical steps in terms of diagnosing the issue and fixing it? You guys ever work with somebody before, like an elderly person or somebody who's a little bit less tech savvy, and try to help them solve a computer problem? They can't begin, not only can they not begin to do it, but they will oftentimes they'll be working contrary to you and your efforts, because they have ideas on how to fix the problem that are totally removed from reality. Right? They have totally the wrong idea of how to go about fixing this issue. Yeah, that can be very, very frustrating. And for that to be your job, 40 hours a week, that sounds like a nightmare. But hopefully you find that it's enough to sort of sustain yourself. And there's pros and cons, man. I'm really grateful that I get to lead the life that I do. The life that I live is, again, very... rewarding creatively, which is kind of was my ambition growing up, to have a job that was very rewarding creatively. It's very personal. It's something I get to do and make friends and otherwise have a lot of positivity added in my life. We get to sit around and be thoughtful and share our opinions on things and criticize things and, philosophize. It's great. And, it has its downsides. The fact that it's not very lucrative. The fact that, the life that I live, outside of the stream when I'm not in front of the camera is very meager, to say the very least. I live a very modest life. Also, I don't have a lot of time for like a love life. I have pretty much no time to socialize outside of the stream, which means that I'm kind of a lonely person in that respect. Likewise, I wish I had more time to adjust, make moves in terms of errands I tried to go out and do some grocery shopping today, but there was not any time. I drove out there to the grocery store, and there was a huge line going all the way into the store itself. As such, I swear I'm hearing a zombie. As such, I had to decide to abort, although the stream would be even later. The stream was already pretty late as it was, just for me driving out there. It's got pros and cons, man. What's up, Great Voice? COVID is fucking up socializing for everybody. That's true, Great Voice. That's true. I'll be happy to be fully vaccinated next Monday. Yeah, thank you, man. Gameplay-wise, stealth could have used more variety, says Shiva Jones. Yeah. So for me, this game's single best feature is when you're fighting human beings in an environment like this. This is something they took from Uncharted. I think Uncharted did it better, though, because they didn't have the trappings of it being like a survival game. But in Uncharted and in this game, they had a similar ambition of combining stealth and melee combat and shooting, and in some cases even platforming, especially in Uncharted, into one encounter in a way that's organic and has a really, satisfying flow in between these systems. You're going right from melee to directly to shooting, directly to stealth, all in the same environment over and over again, like it cycles. That's insane to me. As someone that loves stealth games and loves action games, to see them kind of come together that way is very rare and truly ingenious. It was no small feat in terms of their game designers to balance it such that it actually worked as well as it did. This game is the same, and I think it's not quite as fun as Uncharted because it's not trying to be as fun. It's trying to be a little bit more scary. So that's whatever to me. But it's still pretty good. Like, in this game, you're fighting human beings, and you're going from, like, shanking guys, diving behind cover, breaking line of sight, then flanking people, and, now you gotta shoot some guys. Like, it's really fucking fun. The zombie stealth is a little bit slow-paced for me. It's a little bit, again, it's supposed to be scary, and it succeeds at that. To me, that's a little bit less fun. But it succeeds at being scary, so there's that. I've been thinking lately, guys, I've been thinking about this game a lot, of course. And about Uncharted, by extension. And it struck me, dude. I love the Batman Arkham series. And there was a time where I had said, I've been known to say that's like a perfect game. Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, perfect games. They have no issues. Right? They're games that are genius. They're technically brilliant. They're super fun to play. They're very well balanced. They have no real issues. They're perfect games. But as I play more of this game, and I'm more critical of, how this game's stealth behaves, it struck me. The Arkham franchise has shitty-ass stealth. Like, it really does. You guys play the Batman Arkham games? Like, it's ass. It's super ass. I think it was fun in its time, because there wasn't a lot of variety out there in that genre of stealth. There wasn't a lot to compare it to.
Here we go.
This doesn't seem like it's going to be great.
Shit.
Oh my god. Oh no! Mash square, mash square!
Off of me!
Oh my god! Mash square some more! Zombie swim? Apparently yes. Hell, he's so badass. Self-controlling is probably, right? A little bit? Not really? I don't think so. Just cutscene. Thought it might be a mini-game there. Like we'll be dodging things or something. Ouch! Good thing it hit my backpack. So now I'm in control. Okay, so this is pretty creepy. We're in the sewer now. Kind of cool, there's like a little flow of the water here. Not very much flow, but enough to be kind of realistic. So I can go further this way, it seems. Where I can dive under the water. It seems like that's the secret area. I'm supposed to go over here, clearly. There's a ladder over there. And that's where the light's shining. So let's go look around for a second, that's huh? Uncharted had a really fun swimming mechanic in the fourth game and The Lost Legacy. Would like to see them do more with that, to be honest. This game, it has this kind of similar swimming. They have like some kind of ambition here. So now I'm somewhere. I think this is the secret area where we're gonna find the goodies. I feel like in Uncharted, like a lot of its mechanics, it's underexplored. I really feel like for all the strengths that Uncharted had in terms of its game design, they were mostly squandered by the series' emphasis on cutscenes and the fact that they didn't really have enough time to really use these mechanics the way they could have. This game's kind of similar in the sense of it having this mechanic where you like throw ropes around, like this rope climbing mechanic. It's so much fun.
Shit.
Jeez. The melee is pretty simplistic. It kind of reminds me of Uncharted melee. But that's not a bad thing because, again, it's individually simplistic, but it's tied into the other mechanics in the game, right? Like, you don't really notice how simplistic the fighting is, the combat, the melee combat, when you're in a stealth section of the game. In fact, the melee combat is way more involved than, let's say, for instance, Metal Gear Solid's melee combat, right? Like, Metal Gear Solid melee is really ass. This game, yeah, it's simplistic compared to, let's say, like, a actual, like, Devil May Cry or some shit. But when you're combining that with the stealth, the simplicity actually is to its benefit. Oops, wrong button. Give me this, give me this. So I had some treasure, and it was apparently more or less well needed. That's unusual. Usually I'm full up on all my resources. What's up, Dix? Your head is shaped like an egg. Is it? Is it egg-shaped? Let me see. Kinda right, kinda is egg-shaped. Nothing wrong with that, though, Dix. I guess call me fucking Ovum Head, dude. Think about Ovum Head. Ovum Bot. How you doing, Dick? How's your night been? Hopefully pretty decent. I got a little moth with me. That's pretty cool. Life is good for me, dude. That oval-shaped head. Got moth flying around. Got some nice rain ambience outside. So let's look at my resources. How am I looking here? I've actually got pretty much all full except for rags. So that's not too shabby considering I spent some resources earlier. So I'm still looking pretty decent. How are my pills are looking? Do I have a lot of pills? The pills are another kind of funny gameplay contrivance in this game. Like, they didn't want to have the abstraction of, like, skill point sticks. They weren't like, oh, you have skill points. They wanted to make it, like, something tangible. So they expressed them as being pills. But it's never explained how these pills help you, like, learn new skills. It's just, you find these pills around, and you take these pills. At least run around just taking pills that are making her smarter, I guess.
Fuck Seattle.
Dude, Seattle's kind of fun. I wonder how long we're going to be in Seattle in this game. We've been there for a pretty long time. I kind of feel like, you know, the city has a sort of... It's kind of got its own character now. That's kind of dope. So, wait. So I can swim over there directly, right? If I wanted to. Okay. I wonder if as the game goes on, there's going to be more platforming. What is that sound? Is there a big zombie whale out here or what? So in the early game, they introduced this idea of having a running jump, which is just bizarre. This game didn't really need that, you would think, except that they've used it a few times in a way that seems okay. But I feel like it's not going to ever get to the point of, like, you know, Lost Legacy's platforming. MGS3 CQC is better than the button mash melee. It looks really good, but that's it, huh? I don't know, Shiva Jones. I love Metal Gear Solid 3. And for me to totally disagree with you, I would need to play it again. You know, I haven't played it in, like, fucking, you know, since it came out, basically. It's been a long time. I played it many times through, though, in that era when I was in high school. It's been a very long time. But I kind of feel like CQC was... I mean, I never used it. I never used it, I don't think. Maybe if I used it more, I'd like it more. I'm in Seattle for about 8% of the game. All in all, says Tyler. Huh? Who more, Tyler? Dude, what was that creepy-ass sound, Doc? Looks and feel can go a long way, especially when it isn't the main focus as Diggs. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm talking more in terms of, like, the actual mechanics, right? The mechanics in this game are literally just mash square in terms of melee. Mash square until they attack you, and then sway and counterattack. So you basically have an offense and a defense button. You want to be on offense at all times, so you see them telegraph they're going to attack you, then you react by pressing the defense button. Kind of like Bayonetta, kind of like Batman, you know, Arkham games. You're just attacking, you're mashing square until you're, you know, doing a counterattack. That's nothing new. And again, it's very simple. But I think that, again, when I'm doing it from stealth and then getting back into stealth, that's dope to me. That's super dope. The same experience with Uncharted. Right? At first, I was like, oh, this punching seems really simplistic. But then you realize the punching is not the focus. The punching is what you do, you know, between other things. And then you're like, oh, this is actually really fun. It's actually better than having nothing in this spot, which is, you know, the case for a lot of other stealth games. So I can go over there and climb up here too, huh? That's cool. It's like I'm exploring. You know, the game doesn't have me, you know, held by the nose telling me go here. I've got a couple different ways I can explore. It's not much. But it is something. Doesn't stop the game from looking like a snorefest, as dicks, huh? That's probably my fault. Well, that's not fair to say. This game is pretty fucking slow. Can I go through here? I can. So I can get across here. That's what I'm supposed to do to get across over there, I see. Because there's no way for me to jump out of the water and climb that ledge otherwise. Okay. Yeah, on the one hand, I play very slowly. On the other hand, you know, the game's got a lot of long sections where nothing's really happening. But that all being said, it's probably more fun to play than to watch in that respect. At least I'm doing something, which is probably more than doing nothing. Here's some bricks. They're trying to telegraph to me I'm supposed to throw something at this guy. Jump scare incoming. There's something back there for sure. It's definitely more fun to play than to watch this, Tyler. Well, I want to give you guys the impression that I've got no criticisms of this game, that's for sure. I'm sure it is more fun to play than to watch, but it ain't that much fun to play for the most part. But when I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. This is a very similar experience I had to my mixed feelings overall about Uncharted. Right? Uncharted, you know, when I was playing it, it was fun as hell. But most of the time, you're not playing it. Most of the time, you're just fucking getting cutscened at or doing stuff like this, just wandering around. It's good for what it is, says Shiva Jones. Yeah, maybe you're right, Shiva Jones. Again, this game, it's not like I've ever been deceived by The Last of Us, right? Its ambition from the word go was to be a cinematic experience. That is my main problem with this, you know, with Naughty Dog in general, is their emphasis on them being cinematic. And you can't say that, you know, I was deceived in any way. If you want to play a game that's really cinematic, then, you know, you can probably do a lot worse. In fact, you probably do, you know, it's probably pretty decent. Again, the gameplay I find to be extra solid. The gameplay is quite admirable. I just kind of wish that there was more gameplay density, right? That's my Vencabot keyword. Gameplay density. I wish that we spent less time fluffing around and more time actually doing stuff. Why are you touching around a sewer? I'm looking for your lost career. No, Dix. Apparently, hello? Ellie got punched out of a window by a zombie and fell into a river. And the river swept her way into the sewer. The cutscenes of the time. The cutscenes. That's another game I think had really poor gameplay density. In general, I would say Metal Gear Solid, anything past, you know, I don't know, that's not fair to say. I think Metal Gear Solid strikes a decent balance, and here's why, Tyler. So, what do you think about this theory? This is me coming off the cuff. You know, maybe I'll disagree with this later. Maybe I'll think this over and decide I'm wrong, right? I have a developing theory about gameplay density. It's a term coined by ya boy. But I'm not sure that cutscenes count against gameplay density, right? I usually don't mind a cutscene. I don't mind sitting around and watching a cutscene. What I really mind is when I am playing the game and also not playing the game. So it's like being in purgatory. Like a cutscene is just like watching a movie. I really don't mind a cutscene for the most part. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 had some really, really long, boring cutscenes. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of the extreme case, right? In general, I don't mind cutscenes. In fact, in this game, I don't mind cutscenes. But then Book More Darian. When this game has cutscenes, I'm here for it, dude. I don't mind this game's cutscenes for the most part. They're cool. What I hate is when they're like, follow this person. Follow them around and let them talk to you. Or when it's like, I'm just wandering, kind of like this, and I have no clue, like, I'm not really motivated, and I can only go one direction. This place isn't so bad. I kind of enjoyed the little puzzle trying to find my way across. That was cool. But typically in this game so far, these parts have mostly just been, like, totally brain dead. Just wander around and loot drawers. I hate that shit. And this part, not so much. This part, I kind of like the, you know, the puzzle aspect of it. I just smoke weed during cutscenes, so it never bothered me, says Tyler. Yeah, I don't mind the cutscenes. I kind of like them in games in general. If you want to have a cinematic game, and have it be a lot of cutscenes, that's cool to me, whatever. But when it's like a cutscene that I kind of have to play, that shit really bothers me. Same with like QuickTime events. That's so annoying. Mash square, fight off the zombie. Oh, he's trying to bite you. Mash square, mash square, mash square. It's like, dude, just have to be a cutscene. Let me just watch it. So sequences that technically limit your free will to well, play the game technically, says Kyosuke, huh? Follow the unknown traveler. They just talk and talk while you're holding forward. Exactly, Darian. Yeah, I guess the thing I find interesting is that I'm kind of meditating on the fact that although I do criticize that in any game that it's in, I hate that in any game. But I don't really mind cutscenes as much. Like, because Tyler brought up Metal Gear Solid 4, right? It's got really long cutscenes. And it does. Metal Gear Solid in general has really long cutscenes. But I think I don't really mind putting the controller down and watching a cutscene as much as I mind, you know, when the game, like the actual playing of the game itself is so brain dead. Like, just let me get a cutscene. Direct it like a movie. You know, I don't want to have this fucking over-the-shoulder perspective while talking to Tommy or whatever. You know, it doesn't look good compared to, like, you know, again, like a cinematic cutscene. Just, you know, let me see the facial capture. Let me get some cool camera angles. Get some dramatic music. Let's actually have a cutscene. Oh, this is dope. This place looks sick. You coming? We were talking earlier, Darian, about how annoying it is when their voices get really quiet because they're really far away from you. That's the worst. But oftentimes at least, in this game especially, when they're far away, their volume stays about the same. That's real nice. Glad they fucking thought of that. That way you can, you know, not be tied to them right by the ankle. You can kind of wander around and still hear the cutscene. It's just ridiculous, Shiva Jones. Yeah, it's really, it's almost like parodical, right? I mean, Kojima is notoriously, like, ironic. He's very ironic and self-aware. You almost wonder if, because Metal Gear Solid as a franchise was criticized for having long cutscenes, that he was like, let's make a game that's like, has really insane cutscenes. Just the most insane cutscenes. They're so long. They're so long. The environments were so good in this game. They really are, Tyler. I was thinking about this earlier today. About how, when I'm not playing this game, the environments stick with me. That's not true of a lot of games, to be honest. That's what I mean when I say that Seattle seems to have like its own personality compared to other, you know, video game worlds I've explored. Okay. That's that. Anybody out here that can sniff? Not yet. I don't mean they won't spawn in, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind these cutscenes. I like these cutscenes.
Are here.
When we're actually having like a real cutscene.
The hospital's there. Cut through the park.
So I'm trying to find the hospital. I'm not sure why. Cut through the park? That sounds like a really bad idea. Plus, it seems like it's getting dark out. Okay. The game was simply fan service. It kind of was. I mean, it really was, right? That's not necessarily a terrible thing for a franchise like Metal Gear Solid, which is so, like, lore-centric. They kind of had this idea, let's make a game and wrap up all the loose ends. That's a good premise, except that, kind of like, you know, Last of Us, I think that Kojima was over-fixated on making a movie, right? He wanted to make a movie, not a game. He had these ideas for where the story would go. And, I mean, Metal Gear Solid has nothing if not story. But there's not like a lot of gameplay happening. Love the parks, Tyler? I don't know. I'm fucking playing the park, dog. Seems too creepy. Phantom Pain says Deering, huh? Solid 5 made more sense in my opinion. I love Metal Gear Solid 5. I wish I loved it more. I wish it had the time that it needed to become like a real Metal Gear Solid game in terms of its production value. Oh no. We got fucking tall grass and shit too. I love Metal Gear Solid 5. I think it's great. But, no, I think in some ways it sort of is lacking. Got addictive gameplay, Shiva Jones. Strange whistles. Why did they get, I would normally thought that was a bird. But because we saw some, we saw a subtitle for it, I have to conclude that it's not just a bird, it's something. Maybe like a scar or something that saw me. Ground zeros is to 4 for me, says Kyosuke. What up, Deadlock? Strange whistles, dog. I just feel like, at least for me, it should have been the 4 we wanted, huh? Like, ground zeros was the 4 you wanted. I mean, no, it's not fair to say. 4's plot works for me, for the most part. If not entirely, at least for the most part. Oh, man. I'm so tense. Beep-bop-a-dee-doo-doo. I've got a very bad feeling about this. I'm seeing the shadows moving from the trees above my head, thinking it's moving in the grass. Yeah, 4, it told a story that it had to tell. And it had some it was really goofy, and I respect that. Because Metal Gear Solid's kind of a goofy franchise. Like, I enjoyed, the fight with Ocelot in the end, where you go through all the different games endings. That was kind of fun. I enjoy the theme of war having changed. We see, Snake in this world where it's kind of like, everyone's a super soldier. That's sort of like paying off on the premise of the franchise. I think overall it, there's some hanging dude up there. Okay, so there's definitely other people here. But that's good for me. Because I'd rather fight other people than fight zombies in a place this scary. Why are you grunting so loud, girl? Oh my, oh my, Yeah, I don't like this one bit. Seems like there's other people here. That whistle was very suspicious in terms of how they subtitled it. I gotta imagine that somebody saw me. They're signaling somebody. There's some glowing light over there. I mean, are there traps? I feel like I'm definitely coming up on some kind of settlement or something. Some kind of camp. Yeah, right now in real life it's raining outside my window. And I love the sound of rain. I love a rainy night, as the song goes. But also, I wouldn't mind being able to hear the game a little bit better. Same with my fucking loud-ass PS4 fan. Oh! I feel like I'm gonna miss a lot of trading cards here, but I mean, this is just too complex of an area. I guess I don't really care that much. There's a lot of tall grass here. To hide a bunch of shit. Okay. I gotta come out of hiding here. At least briefly. I don't smell nobody, but again, that doesn't mean there's nobody here. This game loves spawning guys in cutscenes. Good cop, bad cop formation. We're good times, huh? Fucking Deadlock, you're that dude. Deadlock, I didn't recognize you, dude. I've known a lot of guys named Deadlock. For some reason, it's a very popular name. I didn't even know it was you, dude. Welcome aboard, man. Thought you were just a random Deadlock, not the Deadlock. Oh, God, that scared the fuck out of me. How you doing, dog? Will periodically damage you, really?
Shit.
That sucks.
Who the fuck?
These are Seraphites, apparently. I gotta get the fuck out of here. These guys are moving fast because they're not bothering to crawl like I am. Ooh, so tense. Good cat backup formation, dude. The deadlock, not just a deadlock. So they're splitting up. Gives me a chance to get some stealth kills. I have to get behind them, though. Oh, this shit's unsettling, dude. I've got a silenced pistol, though. And plenty of resources to make another silencer. I also have a bow and arrow, too. I could probably exercise that. They're flanking me, dude. Trying to get a clear shot. Ooh. They're fucking buddied up. Yeah, I can't make out what's ahead.
Gotcha.
Two more silenced shots left. 2 shots in the clip. My health stopped draining, or it's draining very slowly. Damn. Okay, there's only one guy left, and I've got no incentive to use up any more of my ammo. I can just break this guy's neck. There's a few more guys way over there. I've been away for a long time. It's time I step back into the Venka show, huh? Welcome back, dog. It's been a fucking while, dude, since the fucking Dark Souls 3 days. We got Dix in the chat, too, dude. Fucking club Dark Souls 3 group playthrough. That shit went so fast. We played Dark Souls 3 like 10,000 times. You did like, what, like 1.5 co-op runs? So there's at least one person way down there. I wouldn't mind getting some loot from these bodies. Because we get a lot of resources killing them. What's up, 3Venge? Not sure if you guys have met 3Venge meet Deadlock. Deadlock meet 3Venge. Deadlock is a long-time friend of the channel. Going back to the Dark Souls 3 days. Do you want to play again, Darian? We might, dude. I'd like to do a 24-hour stream of Dark Souls 2 and wrap up that game. Then maybe start Dark Souls 3 again. We do it as a fucking group playthrough. I wish I knew where the bodies were so I could see if I can get any resources from killing them. I'm using a lot of pistol ammo lately. I've got arrows. Let's use these. 10th full playthrough. You played a lot as well, Darian? I have heard tell of Deadlock, this Revenge. Yeah, those dudes probably thinking of Grimlock. Okay. There's the guy way down there that saw me. Like, way down there, sure. They got really good eyesight, these dudes. Good them keeping them all on one side of me, more or less. I missed a Dark Souls 3 Arena Bloodbath we caused. Dude, you fucking missed, we did a Dark Souls 3 Fight Club, like, a few months ago. Just as a run back. We brought it back for a special feature. Did someone say eyesight?
I...
Where'd he go? Is he being sneaky? I don't like this.
All right.
Maybe he ran away when he saw me. He was getting more making more dudes. That's not what I expected to happen. I thought he was gonna try to kill me. I want to get my fucking arrow from that body. But, I got spotted. There should be a body up here, theoretically. Okay, crouch. We all jumped the random for interfering with the matches. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Oh, a hatchet? Let's fucking go. I want to repair this too, to be honest. Wrong button. Okay, now we're talking. Let me crawl on my belly, see if I can find another arrow from the other guy that I dropped earlier. There's at least one more person stalking around here, right? Not sure where they ended up, though. Ooh. Their body should be right around here. But yeah, that's the thing with this game. Like, you can recover arrows, but it's so easy to lose the bodies. If you lose the body, then you can't get the arrow back. There it is right there, though, I think. Okay. So I have one more silenced shot left in my silencer. I have an amazing melee weapon now. There's somebody over there. Not sure why I'm hearing sound on the left. Oh man, it sure sucks being dead. Okay. So there's...
Jesus. These must be the scars.
Or the Seraphites, right? We've got a spoiler that they're Seraphites.
Hospital. You better not have strung Nora up.
Nora? Who the hell's Nora? So I'm not sure if there's anybody left here trying to kill me. How am I looking for resources? I've got a few more shots in this, couple more shots in this. Plenty of shots in my shotgun. Rifle's looking good, I'm sure. Plenty of fire bombs and all kinds of other good stuff. So looking pretty decent here. Nora is Abby's friend in the hospital. Thank you, Tyler. She's not trying to find Nora to, you know, interrogate her or get revenge. So he doesn't want her to already be dead. Wow. Jeez. That shit's fucking picture-esque. That shit's picture-esque. Okay, so I need some resources here. I need some pistol ammo. And I used some skizzers and some tape to make my axe better. Wouldn't mind replenishing that. Okay, so I can look around now more freely. It seems like everybody's dead. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything in terms of trading cards. Or anything cool around the edges. There's like payphones and shit. Okay. So, Metal Gear Solid was, I think, Metal Gear Solid 3, we should say, right? Can we all agree that was the game with crawling through the grass? That was like the grass crawling game. I kind of feel like, for all that's been said about how cheap it is to have tall grass be a stealth mechanic in games like Assassin's Creed, Neo, You know, lots of AAA games go for this. Oh, let's add some stealth to the game. Let's put tall grass in, right? I kind of noticed that as we got further into Uncharted 4, we saw the grass being used in a pretty intelligent way as like a thoroughfare, as a way to kind of, you know, circle the map while still in stealth and kind of get a feel for how the map was laid out. And then usually, you know, the parts where you actually had to, you know, take more risks, there was less grass, right? It kind of worked out pretty well in terms of its gameplay balance. That being said, this encounter we just did was very grass focused, more so than any other encounter in the game so far. And was it any less mechanically, you know, complex than Metal Gear Solid 3? No. Second question, was it more mechanically complex and involved than Metal Gear Solid 3? I mean, honestly, I feel like, you know, Metal Gear Solid 3, and in general as a franchise, there is so much time spent hiding, whether it be in tall grass or underneath the truck or whatever, and watching enemy patterns, getting a feel for the pattern, and then lunging out and getting a stealth kill. That's kind of how the game is played in terms of its flow, right? I mean, I think it's more interesting, this game, the way this game does it, right? Where enemies have a semi-random pattern, and you have to be amongst them to get the stealth kill. In this case, you know, I had to crawl near them, pop out, and then choke them out when I saw an opportunity. To me, that's a better use of tall grass than maybe even Metal Gear Solid accomplished, you know, back when that game first came out. Metal Gear Solid 3, that is. Right? Like crawling in the tall grass while people are walking through it, and then you get behind them and jump out and you choke them out, right? I think I prefer that over, you know, staying in the tall grass and watching their patterns and then, you know, jumping out and getting them once their back is turned. Once you've watched them enough times, you get a feel for, you know, their compatriots' patterns as well. That sort of is like, you know, the way Metal Gear Solid is kind of balanced is like, there's like, you know, 4 or 5 enemies on a map and they're all patrolling and your goal is to try to figure out where the gap is in the patrol, right? To get a kill. I kind of think this game and Uncharted, they have a different sort of a vibe to them.
Okay. Here's the road to the hospital.
So I got a pretty good feeling we're going to have a lot of humans to fight, which I love. And I don't like fighting the zombies as much as the humans in general. So that's going to be fun, I feel like, inside this hospital or wherever we're going. Yeah, this game has more of a thing where, again, you sort of, the stealth is woven into the combat. So you're oftentimes using it to flank people and, you know, I don't know, it seems to me to be more involved even than a lot of other stealth games I've played and loved in the past. Probably full up on rifle ammo, right? Sure I am. Wouldn't mind having that scope upgrade. I mean, I wonder if the scope's not ever come in handy. Maybe it will as the game goes on. I kind of feel like it wouldn't really be that useful considering I really haven't been like wanting to snipe that much. Like, there's really not a lot of situations where I'm really far from my opponent. Like, usually it's either, you know, melee range or range where we're shooting, but, you know, we're still pretty close. Not sure why I would ever want to snipe somebody in this game. So Tyler doesn't use the scope on the rifle. Yeah, you need to design the game around that. Like, yeah, we need to be able to snipe. So here's my thing in general, Tyler. I play a lot of games, you know, that are like this or stealthy and whatnot. I hate using sniper rifles. They're very loud. I hate using any guns because they're loud. I prefer to stealth my way through if I possibly can, because I'm very risk averse. Just this quick scope, you coward. Just scope them and fucking shoot. Jump in the air, do 360, and then scope them. Or don't. Yeah, for me, I don't like any gun that's noisy. Being a coward, Dix, I love sniping in games where you can choose to either snipe or run in and fight. You know, like games like, you know, competitive shooters or whatever. I love playing a sniper because they're the ones that kind of just hide and you know, it's real lazy, real easy to do, I find. But in games where there's like a stealth mechanic, I can never figure out why I'd want, like a Hitman, right? Hitman's a franchise where you think it'd make a lot of sense to use a sniper rifle. There's all kinds of good vantage points. Right? There's hella good vantage points. You're trying to snipe at one guy in particular. It's kind of fun to sneak in the rifle. You have to put it in your briefcase and sneak it around. That's fun. But once you snipe them, then they're all the guards are alerted. You have to move fast to avoid an encounter. Why not just sneak behind the guy you want to kill and slit his throat? Why do you want to snipe him? This game's kind of similar. Like, why do I want to snipe somebody? I don't get it. There's the raid, Korean. Welcome aboard, guys. I have it, but never use it. I quickscope. The hunting rifle is one of my favorite guns in the game, says Tyler. In general, my gun of choice has been the silent pistol so far and the shotgun. So the fucking rose, Karina? Ooh, yeah. Gutter trash. Oh, hey, what's this? He also has an axe. Unfortunately, my axe is, I don't know, I like that axe more. But whatever, mine's all upgraded. We're playing this game, Karina. It's called The Last of Us Part 2. So what kind of journal entry I just add there? What should you write down? Scars, fuck these people. Stay focused on why you're here, huh? Scars, they're like cultists. I'm been in a really positive vibe about this game today, Karina. Flip for Bay, hi! Hey for Bay. How's your night been for Bay? It's just the name for Bay makes me talk in that voice. I could talk like a Furby. Ah, bueno, Toto. I remember Furbies. What's up, McServed? Did somebody say McServed? It says, golly gee. I'm fucking being mad positive about this game today. Kind of like my Yoshi voice. My Yoshi voice is this. Yoshi. I just beat my record again tonight, huh? Twice this week on some Xanac. Some Xanac 90 FPS. Positive vibes all over. That's what I like. This place looks so good. This game would look amazing at 60 FPS. I hear that on PS5 runs at 60, which is pretty impressive. I have an arrow. That's what I need. I mean, that's what I got now. I have 5? That's where I started off with. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong. Okay. So I suspect I'm supposed to go inside this building, huh? Right through the front door, perhaps, even. Current gen better be able to run a last gen game at 60 FPS. You think so, Dix? I guess maybe you're just more... You have more faith in the industry than I do. You have more faith in the industry than I do. Running a game at 60 FPS that used to run at 30, that implies double the horsepower, right? Approximately. In some cases, more. You have to run the same game at twice the frame rate. This is having standards as Dix, huh? It does indeed run at 60 on PS5 with only a few frame rate drops, huh? 40k 60 FPS is a bit of power. Oh, it runs at 40k as well at 60? That's crazy to me. I swear I just heard somebody. Did somebody say McServed? Hello? Hello? There's a door I haven't tried yet. I suspect I'm supposed to go through the door I haven't tried yet. I'm not sure if it's native 4K, but it's definitely not 1080p, says Tyler. You know, maybe upscaled? Yeah, I've considered looking into getting a PS5 just because it has all the PS4 Pro features and then some. That's attractive to me. But I barely ever use my PS4. So it's like, I'm a PC gamer. Why would I fucking... Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go right there, huh? How does this relate to... Where was I? I came from this side, right? I'm confused. Here's the front door to this building here. Is I'm supposed to go? I haven't turned my PS4 on in... I can't even remember, says Karina. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, you know, it'd be nice to have a stronger PS4, but not worth buying a whole new PS4. Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go for sure. The door's open. Maybe? Or is it blocked? I want to go in there and not be able to go back. Gotta make sure I don't miss anything. So I came from the park. But I'm confused about where the park begins and ends. So this is where the park is. So I can go around on the left side, looks like, and find perhaps even more. Okay. Tyler doesn't use his PS5 much either, huh? Yeah, I should just save my money for stuff for the stream. You know, new PC hardware and stuff like that. But it's tempting, man. It's tempting. If I had all the money in the world, I would buy a PS5 just to play this game at 60. That'd be fun. Oh, okay, I see. This is the end of the road. That's the end of the road. We gotta go inside here. Let's keep it schmoving. So there's gonna be a lot of, I think, human on human fighting, which is kind of nice. I like that. Hold it. That's loud.
All right.
So, no one's coming to kill me after hearing that big loud sound? I wonder if this is going to be zombies or people. I would think people, since we found some scars outside, or some Seraphites. It's a weird sound in here. And I think it is diegetic. It is inside the game world itself. Oh, it's birds. A lot of birds. But why? How's my health looking? Real good. I could smash this and get that candy bar, I think. That's the thing I can do in this game, I think. Okay, that worked. No harm done. Keep an eye out for zombones. I have this amazing axe. I need some more skizzers and duct tape. In that same respect, I made my axe extra amazing. There's some tape right there. How convenient. So I gotta go up the stairs, looks like, huh? I wish you could do her stinko vision while she was standing up straight. Just because I have to tap X to... I don't know. If there's somebody behind these doors... So I was criticized last time, you know, in a affectionate way, for being, quote-unquote, committed to exploring the whole game in crouch mode, instead of standing up and going faster. But I'm very conservative with all games that I play. And I can't help but feel like I don't want enemies to hear me as I'm walking outside the door of the room. I want to be, like, sneakier. That being said, you know, there are those who would say that that's totally overboard. And the game design has never once expressed to me that there would ever be an enemy hiding behind a door that would hear me. That's something the game is really put forward as a possibility. Probably just wishful thinking on my part. Right? To me, it seems like that would make sense. Why is there a fucking corn there? Why is it's a big... It's a corn doll. That's amazing. It's wishful thinking, right? Because I think that in a game like this, where we know that when I'm standing, I do make noise, and when I'm behind a door, I can see people when they're walking, standing up straight from the other side of the door. So it would be kind of cool to think, oh, there's somebody might be inside that door, but be careful going inside. But really, that's not like the way the game works. I'm just training for grounded permadeath runs, as Tyler. That's kind of how I always play every game I play. And a part of that means playing real slow, unfortunately. But to me, it's more interesting, I guess. Big perm, dude. Big perm. So it's kind of fun how we don't really know if we're up against zombies or people. So MFers is grounded. You played this game before, MFers? You probably mentioned that before, but I'm still kind of surprised since I didn't meet you through this game. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be. It's a big AAA release. A lot of guys have played it, I'm sure. Why is there some weeb-ass wall scrolls going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. I don't see nobody. That doesn't mean that there is nobody. They could be in hiding. It's happened more than once in this game already. It is, but never made it all the way through. Had a couple of runs cut short by glitches. That's so annoying, Tyler. I hate when that happens in any game. When you're having a good run and it gets cut short by a glitch. In a really hard game, it's hard even when it's actually working. Let alone when you get it, unfairly, cut short because of some kind of bug. So I'm supposed to go outside the window, it looks like. Kind of raises some question what's over there. Are we gonna find all these birds? Here's some skill points. Or some gold, I guess you can call it. The gill. So this door's gonna be locked, you would think. I have to go through the window. Skeezers. Nice, nice. Just kind of clip my hand to the fucking edge of the table there. No big deal. Kind of hurts a little bit, but it's whatever. Ellie's tough. She can clip. Some full-on bottles. Can I craft another silencer? You would think probably not, huh? What if I were to hit this button? Go to silencer. I can't craft until mine's broken. That's kind of a drag, but whatever. This game has a thing, the same as the first game, right? Where the difficulty, at least here on hard mode, is such that I've always have full resources all the time. At least this early in the game. I'm sure it'll get harder as it goes. But I kind of want to, like, burn resources just so I can pick up more of them. But sometimes you can't. I hate that feeling of not being able to pick up a resource. That's, like, the worst. Okay. So let's try the door. Door's going to be locked, you would think. Stands to reason. Oh, hey, the drawer I missed. Oh, alcohol. That's a lot, too. Shame I'm already fucking full of it. Yeah, I think the door would be locked. I have to go through the window, right? Maybe not. Doo-ba-dee-doo-doo. So I didn't really explore the building. I thought I was going to explore the building there. Instead, I'm kind of moving along toward the hospital. God, this shit looks good as hell. Jesus Christ! So I can climb higher, it seems, at least a little bit. I think it wants me to go down to the alley, though. If anything's above me, it's just going to be some treasure. No, maybe not. Maybe I'll find a different... Oh, look, there's another room up there. Okay, that's fun. But again, it makes me wonder which way I'm supposed to go. Because I want to go where I'm not supposed to go, right? I'm for sure supposed to go this way. I mean, there's literally, Oh, no! Don't do that, Ellie! I just wanted to stand up. X is the stand up button. Also the jump over button. Oh, wow. God damn it. Oh, it's so annoying. There goes my grounded run, right? Tyler said earlier that he lost a grounded run due to a glitch. That wasn't a glitch per se. Definitely let's say a design oversight. I want to stand up and peek over the edge. But again, X is also the jump over button. Run's dead. What's up, Breezy? Oh, I'm head out. Just jumps for real, dude. For real. So I used this last time, right? So my health is kind of low. Too much grounded. I got way too much grounded, dude. I mean, enough is enough. It's like I want to play on grounded. Whee! Look at her amazing fuck. I didn't realize she has like a sheath for her melee weapon. That's fucking sick. On her backpack. How's that been, J-Bomb? Welcome aboard, dude. That's where I gotta go. Didn't I find a trading card over here? I think I did, right? I think it's auto-save, like the trading card, perhaps. But not when I got the other loot. Weird. You can always change the loot frequency in the menu. Yeah. Oh, I can lower it, you mean? Oh. That doesn't really solve my problem, though. I can also raise it, though. That would kind of almost solve my problem. Ironically. What's up, Slay You? Stream ended up being short anyway, says Karina, huh? But I beat my initial record. Played Punch-Out for a bit after it happened, huh? I love that clip of you playing Punch-Out with your eyes closed, Karina. That was sick. Said you actually have to use the sound cue. You can't use your eyes. Gotta use the force. So I ended up finding, like, some skizzers, right? Somewhere around here, and some ammo. Yeah, my problem is not that there's not enough there's too many resources. My problem is that because the resources are limited, I don't feel comfortable using my resources, and that ends up me always having max. If I lower the resources, you know, the problem would still mostly be there. And likewise, if I raise resources, it'd be the same problem, right? Except that I feel like I could, you know, almost solve the problem. Like, more would be better. Then I could actually use my stuff without having to, like, be afraid, I guess. But even then, it doesn't really fix the problem of not knowing for sure we're going to get more of this resource. But it's scary, says Slay You Kid? It's kind of scary, you're right. It is kind of scary. Is your first scary game, Slay You? Not into horror games? I mean, for sure this game is mad scary. I'm also not a horror game player myself. I don't really play a lot of horror games. So this game is really getting to me sometimes. Have a follow, Slay You Kid. Yeah, J-Bomb, she always plays at like 90 FPS, which is pretty funny since Punch-Out is already such a fast game. You get distracted by the visual. I gotta close your eyes and just listen for the sound. Yeah, pretty fun clip. Okay, so now I can leave, I think. I got everything I had before. Now we can go outside, and I have to decide if I want to go low or high. I'm almost certain the game wants me to go low, so I should go high to find the secondettes. I am, this one's different, huh? But it's 1 AM for me right now as a slave, so I'm playing it mad late. I think it wants me to go down there. There's a ladder and everything, right? And then there's, you know, a bunch going on. It could be fun. It could be some non-linear stuff here, perhaps, if I'm lucky. Let's go check up here. How far am I in? I'm up 5 hours in the 2 part, huh? I think I am, like, 20 hours in by now or some shit. But I'm playing very slow. So I can go inside here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go or not. I think probably not. I'm supposed to go that way, for sure. So inside this building. Let's find out. Let me in. Hello? Is that you, Tyler? I'm surprised I'm that far in from what I've been told. So this door might be locked here, in which case I should have smashed the window. It's a long game, Slay. Again, I'm playing very slow, though. I'm a very slow player. You might be faster than me. Yeah, let me smash the window to get in. I like that feature. But it is kind of loud, though. Hello? Yeah, that seems pretty decent. This game's notoriously really, really long, like really overly long. If I'm 1/3 of the way through, that don't seem that bad to me. Okay, so this room might be all there is to explore in this place, huh? So this is gonna be some treasure here, I think. Are you sure you want some spoilers, though, Slay? I'm a little further than you, right? Might see some spoilers. I understand if you wanted to wait until later to watch. If anybody finds this note, my wife Paige is waiting for me back in the old conference center at Pike and Convention, right across from the brew pub. Please take her this medicine. She's pregnant and could die without it. I thought I could make it, but I've lost too much blood. I was sprinting through the woods, heard some whistles, and then an arrow pierced my side. I ducked into this place. Think I'm safe. Can't get any worse, right? Starting to feel cold. Stole all this medicine from the hospital. Should have grabbed some blood, too. Bad joke, never mind. She'll tell you I'm always making bad jokes. Who writes like this? Especially when they're dying. If you find Paige, tell her I went peacefully. Tell her I hope they live happy lives. Tell her I love her. And tell her if it's a boy, don't name the kid after me. Go with the name we picked. Simon Vickers. It's a little Poosley, perhaps? Well, happy to have you here, though, Slay, you kid. Hopefully you can kind of relax and enjoy the stream without being too spooked. As the night goes on. Oh, look at all these pills. Sick. I think I'm not missing a whole lot by skipping them, Slay, you kid. I kind of enjoy them more than I enjoy them in many games. Usually I kind of ignore the like text logs and stuff, but this game is kind of fun. Ooh, duct tape. That's what I need. So the pills were the drugs he needed for his pregnant wife. Which kind of, again, really weird that the same pills he uses to heal his pregnant wife are the pills I use for gaining new skills, but whatever. So I'm full up on revolver ammo now. Great. So I gotta be full up on rags by now, you would think. Yeah, so I'm all full on all but skizzers. I'm pretty close to being full on that, too. Yeah, would that I could, I mean, I guess I could fire a shot out of my pistol, and then make another, silencer, right? Yeah, I should. I'll do that once I find another bottle. I'm also full on rags, too. Second half, note stories are better than the first half. I'm enjoying them so far myself. Yeah, but is it good or is there boring parts? Well, this game, it's got a lot of boring parts, man, at least for me. Overall, I wouldn't recommend this game to players with my saying, oh, there's all the birds, that's cool. Can I snipe one? I want to get through there and explore. See if I can get some ammo that I just utilized. I love how the doors open both ways. Give me that. Yeah, this game is pretty fucking boring, man. It's mad boring. It's just that, you know, when you're actually having a good time, you're having a great time. You know what I mean, Slay, you kid? Like, when you're actually playing it, it's really good. But a lot of it's just kind of walking and talking and getting cutscenes in your face. But I really enjoy it when I'm actually like, you know, sneaking around and hiding from zombies and killing bad guys. Now you know, Tyler. Now you know. This game looks so fucking good right now. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, but I think that if I were given the reins on this game, if I was on the, you know, the design team, I would stress the gameplay density.
Other way.
Just to have the same game if you want, but just shorten all the in-between parts so you're doing more action more often. The parts I was scared was with the two big guys in the dark. I almost gave up, but I pasted it. I'm at the part where he's at the museum. Got past it. Two big guys in the dark. Two big guys. Oh yeah, the bloaters. Yeah, fuck those guys. That is pretty scary, you're right. Do they tell that even better? Yeah, that is really scary. I'm kind of scared of the dark myself, to be honest. I have a phobia of the dark. So any game that has like thick darkness, I always get annoyed by that. Look how pretty this is. How are they working? This is some of that motion art. You can see this on Facebook sometimes. They usually have to be like spun up. I totally understand, Slay You Kid. It's a pleasure having you here. Okay. Fedra Hospital Disaster Recovery Center. But now it's all been overtaken by the fucking cultists. The scars. Ooh.